There we go. That's all. So, how you doing, my friend?
Not bad, thank you. Not bad. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, can hear you fine. So I'll get right into it. Obviously, in your last fight, it was an emphatic KO. You obviously been voted the KO with an eye on the card as well. How are you feeling now, just a couple of days after the win?
To be honest, I'm still feeling quite high. To be honest, after it was an unbelievable night, and it's something I've been working towards for a while now. I needed that the other night, I think, to get back into the game. I haven't fought for a while, so it was nice to get in, get the job done in such a way, and put a stamp on it. To be honest.
Yeah, and with that as well, you fought a good opponent. Obviously, won his debut. Coming into that fight, was you expecting the finish to come as quick as it did, or was the finish something that was planned, or is it something that you saw early on in the fight and you completely took advantage of to get it?
Well, to be honest, the idea was it's like that saying, everyone's got a plan so you get punched in the face, but the plan was to go in there, and take them down, and look to wrestle really. In my head, I was hoping to get some rounds in, and get to showcase the wrestling side of things. It's something that I've been putting a lot of effort into recently. But once I was in there and I landed that right hand, I felt like I knew it hurt him, and instantly from then I thought I can finish this on the feet, and that's what I went to do. And I did actively try and get the knockout then. Once I realised I could hurt him with the hands, but the plan was to go in and neutral. But you just take it as it comes when you're in the cage. So made up to get the knockout. Absolutely over the moon.
Yeah, and prior to that as well, one thing that I noticed from your first fight to your second is the placements of the shots that you were throwing. The leg kicks were causing a major disruption as well. When the right hand landed, you took a lot of notice of it. Is that something that you've worked on, making sure that before you got onto the ground, the placement of your shots was there?
Which is why I put so much emphasis on the wrestling side of things this time around, is because I am a striker. I do like to strike. Um, but the leg kicks is something I've been working on for a while. It's been a solid camp, to be honest. It's been a really good camp. And yeah, I just sort of took it as it came. Like you say, as soon as I realised that I could hit him with the right hand, I thought I need to capitalise on this and put him away, and thankfully I did.
Yeah, and with the win as well now, obviously, you went 0-1 before coming into the fight. With this, obviously, it gives you the platform and the big KO as well to get an opponent of a high skill level again. So is that something that you'll be looking at, and is it looking like UKFC that you'll want to fight there again, or is it just any promotion that wants to have you on that fight?
Yeah, so I'm excited to get back in. To be honest, I'm looking to stay active this year. My plan is to take an amateur title eventually. So I've got my eyes on that, whether it be UKFC or FCC or AFC. I'm happy to fight on all promotions. And get as much cage time as possible. Um, Off the top of the head, I know I've got a few things planned over the next few months, so I don't think I'm going to be able to make the next UKFC. It's looking like it's going to be the FCC in June, the next fight. But I am looking to be back on UKFC shows. It's a really good show. It's well run, and I really enjoyed it. I had a good time. So yeah, all promotions really, but the idea is to take a title.
And as you mentioned, obviously, debut was on FCC as well, so you fought on two very big promotions from being 0-0 to now. What's the difference between fighting on UKFC to FCC, or are they both just as well run as each other?
Yeah, no, they're both really, really good shows. Alex and Adam, really good at what they do. Like you said, the huge promotions especially in the amateur game, around the northwest. So I'm just happy to be able to feature on both of them, and to get involved. But yeah, no, I wouldn't say any show's better than the other. I'd say they're both really, really well run, professional shows. So I'm excited to get on both.
Yeah, and then as mentioned in terms of getting on the both as well, and over the next few months you won't be free for some sort of cards up until June. How many more fights would you be looking to get this year, and where do you hope to end up by the end of the year in terms of the opportunities that can come along from obviously the fights that you have?
Yeah, so I'd like to do as many as possible. Obviously, injury permitting, and then based on the outcomes of the other fights as well. 3-4 maybe, depending on how much time we've got left. But I'd like to be in a position by the end of this year to either go in for the title shot or start next year. Be looking to go in for the title shot. I want to be able to be in that position where people are saying, he's the next guy. He's the next guy for the shot. So.
Yeah, and in terms of so far, so obviously when it's 0-0 and then 1-1 as well, it's quite hard to call for certain fights to get. So in terms of how you go around getting the fights, what's usually the process of when you do get an opponent, and how does that usually come along for
you? So it's normally left to the team. So like my head coach, Paul, I'll sort of leave it to them to get me the match up, and if they think it's a good match, then I'm happy to take it. They know me better than I do sometimes. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm happy to fight anyone. It's the whole point. To prove you're the best fighter, and that's what I want to do. I want to fight the best people, prove I'm the best, and get that amateur title.
Yeah, and then finally from me, obviously it was a great win for you, winning the KO of the night. So if there's any sponsors, any people that you want to shout out as a result of the win, feel free to just go ahead and do so.
Well, yeah, big shout out to all my sponsors who helped me through camp. So that's Green Corner Hydroponics, the Sinclair Group, Steph Peckham Massage and Beauty, First Seed Housing. We've got most bank breakers. I'm probably going to miss a few off here, so apologies to any of the sponsors if I do. But yeah, big thanks to everyone who supported and helped us through camp. He made the camp possible, and it'd be great to have them back on board again for this next fight. So, and if anyone else is interested in any sort of sponsorship deals, then feel free to give me a message. We're involved. Like I say, I'm looking to be active, and I'm looking to take these amateur titles this year, if not next year. So, yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, so I appreciate your time. That's everything from me. So, congratulations on the big win at the weekend. I'm sure I'll see you again sometime this year. Best of luck for it.
Most definitely. Thank you, Joe. Thanks for the interview, mate.
No problem.